Islam Dwayne, how you doing? Islam, my Moorish American nation, my Moorish American family. Islam. I'm at Whole Foods. It's July the 23rd, 2019. As I was walking, I'm walking now, I'm feeling a force sharp pain around the back of my ankle. You know, I exercise. I'm a healthy spirit, healthy soul. And someone, if you heard someone said paid, and I'm at Whole Foods in Annapolis, Maryland. I'm feeling a force sharp pain on my ankle. I'm going to show you where, okay? And like I said, for a minute, I've been feeling this for a while. Like saying United States military outside and around the room at American Extended Stay, or someone saying military outside and around the room. So I thought, I found it odd because there's nothing wrong with my ankle. I jog, I walk. So it shouldn't be a reason for me to feel any sharp pains. But let me tell you something, Dwayne. Now, what I find interesting as a Moorish American, how these spirits try to manipulate your emotions for breeding, for slavery. So what they do is, if they want one of their males to be perceived as a man in a female's eyes, they'll send an emotion or attack the nerve system that connects to an emotion, so that that male will feel like a man in her eyes. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's what they do to manipulate emotions to prepare spirits for breeding in this slave plantation. Because I'm not in the slave plantation. I'm on the slave plantation. Now, if that's not going to the extreme of slavery, what is? So what they're doing is, so if you, for instance, if someone that's a black male and you are experiencing the spirit of truth, but you don't know what your emotions are. So what they do, if that has the science to control your emotions, because you don't know what your emotions are, you're not aware of your true self, your true thoughts, your true emotions. They'll send a zap, like an emotion, or a spirit will try to engage like an emotion, engage with you and make you feel like you actually want to be involved with them. And I experienced this with the Spanish speaking. I told you, like, the Spanish speaking would have invaded my dreams and try to present themselves as angels, or send telepathic thoughts of compassion, like have pity for them, or that of the black Negro or the pale skin. But what it is, once again, these are all manipulating thoughts, and this is a form of slavery, because you don't know. So if you don't know, and that which they're trying to breed you with, they think they know, but they really don't know, because you get upset and you might think this person has something personal against you, and they don't have anything personal against you. They just a bred animal of some sort, or a bred something that's being used and manipulated to behave a certain way. They're just a slave. So you can't be mad at a slave. Why would you be mad at a slave who's not even in their true self, in their true thoughts, who are being used as a weapon for mass destruction? And that's exactly what's going on. They're using them for a weapon of mass destruction. If they send in sharp pains forcefully, not only that, they try to manipulate your thoughts and emotions for breeding, then they are being used for a weapon as mass destruction. So they don't want you to keep the population settled, where the population is not walking around, which they are already walking around and being depressed. They're walking around being depressed because you got many of them overweight or on some form of drugs, drug addicts, alcoholics. They're going to see the hospitals because the doctors diagnose them as being antidepressant. What is another diagnosis that they give people to put them on medication? Bipolar, antidepressant. What's another medication? Anxiety. So to make a population feel it's okay, they actually will send to invade someone's emotions, genitals, and send a false sense for breeding. So I experienced this with the black Negro and the Spanish speaking. The pale skin, somewhat, but mostly with the black Negro. And I said the black Negro that is unclean in spirit. The Spanish speaking that's unclean in spirit. So that's that is my testimony. And I know that and knowing that the United States rate 35 in health, it's not even considered in health. So it makes you wonder when the soldiers go overseas, because they are able to manipulate so much over here through the chip, science. What do they do overseas? All right, it's like, what is the purpose of them going over there? Because they definitely not demonstrating freedom. Some of them that have not taken an oath of or affirmed to uphold the Constitution of 1787, Abraham Lincoln's Proclamation, and the 13th Amendment, 20 sections. So what do they do over there, and how do other nations look at them? So what is their purpose? So what I'm thankful of is that I do know what's going on. I know my true emotions, my true thoughts, because these are, once again, bodies, spirits being used as weapons of mass destruction. Okay, Islam. So it's July the 23rd, 2019. So I send divine prayers to the soldiers that are upholding in this country the Constitution and divine laws of freedom. Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, Abraham Lincoln's 13th Amendment, 20 sections, and the foreign soldiers who are defending their homelands, their little boys, the children, the women who are trying to stand and defend their homelands and liberty and freedom. And they're healthy, and they're a healthy nation. Because if I was someone who already know about the weapons of mass destruction, the bodies that they use here in this landmass, and those same group come over to my nation, my landmass, how would I feel? So once again, Islam. I'll talk to you later. And that's all I was. Oh, I'm getting almond milk. Let me show you what I'm getting real quick. And Monty Arrington-Bey, we don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis, Maryland, because we know that possibly too many are not in the constitutional fold, so that means too many are vulnerable to be used as terrorists, spiritually, mentally, and then if they could, physically. And if they're attacking and sending sharp pains, that is a physical form of terrorism. We do not have the science of telepathy, so we're not able to cause harm in that manner. And we wouldn't want to, as civilized natural beings, practicing natural law. We want to be able to travel to another country, and that country look at us as civilized natural beings with a nationality, not a property that's being used as a weapon of mass destruction all over the earth. So this is the orange juice that we usually get, and this is almond milk, and I'm gonna grab honey as well. Okay, so one of the tactics I think these spirits use is lawsuits. So to try to encourage bondage, and bondage attacks the earth and the universe. So what they do to encourage slavery, especially if you're not protected and you don't have, if you're not in the Moorish American National Republic, the Moorish nation in this landmass will probably be the only true spirit of freedom that you can really grasp to, because it's besides those Anglo-Saxons, which the Anglo-Saxons that also helped created the Constitution. So once again, these spirits here, if they're not able to breed you with something that is they created maybe in a laboratory, whatever, they start plotting in different ways to try to sue or form a lawsuit. Because spiritually, when you're attacked mentally or sharp pains are sent to you, it's a challenge to prove that. So this is what they do in this landmass, and that is another form of being used as a weapon of mass destruction. A weapon of mass destruction. So how many lawsuits go on, and how many murders, how many so-called horrific crimes go on because they're trying to breed and promote a form of bondage in this landmass. That's my thought. Rapes. How many rapes and molestations? So I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll talk to you later. Islam Dwayne Bey. I just brought, and I'm getting honey.